What it means? It is a service provided to the customers before and during and after purchasing the using goods and services. So good customer service provides an experience that meets a customer expectation. It produces satisfied customers. The customer service main thing is to satisfy the customers, to maintain the same customers. So bad customer service can generate complaints. It can result in lost sales because consumers might take their business to the competitors. So good customer service involves developing bonds with customers, hopefully leading to the long-term relationship. It creates advantage for both customers and the business. So customers benefits because the business is providing a service that meets their needs. So the business benefits because the satisfied customers are likely to be repeat customers. They will stay with the business. However, good customer service is not easily achieved. It takes time to establish. It requires investment to deliver consistent standards. This is the meaning. And then next we're going to see characteristics of customer service. The first characters which we're going to see is listening skills. So before selling anything or before getting any complaints from the customers, once we get the call or some meeting with the customers means we have to listen well to 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 correct the faults from our products. So listening skills is main thing. So customer service representative must be able to listen to the needs of the customers. We have to able to listen the customer needs. So they take notes and summarize the customer's words back to them and ensure understanding. Then second one is asking skills. So those the customer service know that asking the right questions can yield the answers that are necessary to solve the problems and address the issue. So quality questions help them uncover actual needs, goals, objectives and concerns of the customers. Third one is responsive. Means the customer services responsibility is a must. So without responsibility they can't achieve or they can do they can't satisfy the customer's needs. So the responsibility is two-sided as it covers the agent's responsibility in attendance, service, loyalty, attitude. It also covers the liability of the agent to take responsibility of mistakes and result to know that their own action determine the results in customer situation. And then fourth we're going to see responsive. Means the questions or a concern is addressed in a quality customer service. Bypassing a question because the answer is not known can leave the customer feeling ignored. Many service related inquiries are multi-phased, so it is important to fully respond to the one inquiry before moving to the another inquiry. And then next was knowledgeable. So customer service agent should be completely knowledgeable in the department or a product or a services for which they are responsible. Along with the knowledge comes confidence which leads to customer satisfaction. If the situation arises when an agent doesn't know the answer, he must be willing to admit not knowing and find the answer or pass the client to the representative that can answer the question. Next, next one is complete. A customer service representative should work through a situation to its completion. Instead of being quick to hand off a problem or hesitant in a working through the customer needs, the agent should be thorough and work through each situation step by step until it is resolved. Next one is timely. So it is the best when it is a prompt because allowing customers to sit and hold and wait in a store for available representative is unacceptable. The timely responsive to a request, questions, concern, or a problem is the first step to a solution. This may not always be speedy, but it should be efficient and thorough. Next one is accurate. So any information relayed from the customer service representative to a customer must be 100% accurate. So whether it is instructions on assembly or a performance or information on warranties, everything must be factual. Along with accuracy in a fact, the representative should be precise in the actions performed on the customer's behalf. The next topic is we're gonna see management of major and national accounts. The first we're gonna see what is national accounts. It is a creation of marketing terms, groups within a company or specifically to meet the needs of major client organization. The teams or groups usually consist of marketing and sales personnel as well as engineers, production specialists, and so on. So, the meaning of national account nothing, the prospect or a customers with a location in several sales territories, means areas that when sold will respond to coordinated national state strategy rather than strategies that focus on specific location. This account with an international scope is referred to as global account. The next one is NAMS, means National Account Management System. It is an integrated, simple to use account management system that facilitates exemplary account expense performance and feeds the organization with the rich data and insight enabling enterprise informed decision making. So before going under this, we're going to see NAMS has three: sales management, data management, visibility. So for sales management, manage the product listing, forecasting, promotional planning, and promotional budgeting. These are under sales management. Under data management, they will manage the data access. Database structure allows the Excel report, Excel, Excel export capabilities for a powerful analytics. It has a data access of product, micro and macro visibility to trend the promotional lift. And then third one is visibility, which means a committed or available budgets and all customers claim through approval and payment process. The visibility to monthly promotional actual requirements, user, date, time, stamped activity, tracking for approval process. And last one, digital archive of the customer claims process. So these are under NAMS, National Account Management System. The next we're gonna see major account customer candidates. So before going, what is major accounts? Means a company which you develop on a supply side partnership, alliances, joint ventures or a distribution agreements or a customers, end users of the products is called major account companies. So this is the selling is about understanding who the decision makers, identifying those issues, process, procedures and pricing strategies which when delivered will gain the long-term loyalty of the customers. In a short, you are their solutions. So mainly, it has one of the best ways to determine if you are dealing with a real decision maker. When asked correctly, he or she will tell you what the process is for making the decisions for your product. So main thing we're gonna see major account customer candidates. The main major account customer candidates are strongest and weakest, current customer, non-current customers, growth or a change mode, stable or a declining mode, win or a lose business relationship, total commitment in a partial or a neutral, long-term financial payment moderate or a weak financial payment potential. And the next open, accessible and cooperative closed, inaccessible in uncooperative. An investment or a value orientation, cost orientation. Then business status, strong business status, weak or mediocre. So next point we're going to see managing major accounts. So how we gonna manage the major accounts? How we gonna manage means people always ask if the major account selling is a selling position or a managing position. The answer is that it's both. Yes, it is selling a position. It is requires the service of the major account salesperson who opens a door and initiate new relationship with the new people or a new relationship with the familiar people, means existing customers. The hallmark skill of a major accounts or rapport building, persuasion, ability to get the commitments On the other hand, it is managing a position because it is also about fulfilling the commitments of the relationship. So, keeping promises, making things work, these are the skills of the planner, thinker, implementer who fulfills the roles of the major accounts manager. The team operation is mainly contained dominant both the selling and buying sides of the major accounts. Is the sales operate best in cooperative, means compares already in the customer base who knows trust you. So new or untested customers generally don't have the sufficient track but extend the trust necessary to make a major account relationship work their best. So how we gonna manage, means we have to manage. So next we gonna see managing buyer and seller relationship. The first one we have to starting with the uncertainty situation faced by a buyer, that is mainly need to uncertainty. So uncertainty has two types. The first one is market uncertainty, transactional uncertainty. The next point is the buyer seller relationship evolves across five stages. The stages are five. First one is pre-relationship stage, means which started with the with pre-sales, pre-relationship stage. Second one exploratory stage, development stage, stable stage, final stage. The first is pre-relationship stage, means giving the free sample. Exploratory means how the sample worked for them. This is the stage. And the development stage means if you are satisfied your customers, they will buy again your product. So it is a developed stage. And then next one is stable. So once you're satisfied, you buy the product, you are stable to buy another product year by year. So it is a stable one. And last, finally, final stage. So final stage is the main thing. And the next, depending on the extent of their interdependence, the relationship is or categorized in four types. The first one is transactional relationship, which is a transaction based buying and selling. Next, collaborative relationship. Collaborative means which we are collaborating, mixing. And alliances means contracts. And the last, reciprocal. Reciprocal already we have seen the friendship goals, reciprocal relationship. And the next one is industrial marketers have to maintain. So next one we have to see buyer seller relationship types, already we have seen. So transactional relationship, collaborative relationship, alliances and reciprocal relationship. The next one is sales representative role. How the sales representative role means, it is mainly in customers by performing multiple functions, which means information exchanging, negotiation, adaptation, process insurance, social, relationship, ego enhancement. So these are on sales representative play a vital role. The next one we're gonna see customer relationship management, which means it is the combination of practices, strategies and technologies that companies use to manage and analyze customer interaction and data throughout the customer lifestyle. So with the goal of improving customer service relationship and assisting the customer retention and driving sales growth. So CRM system compile computer data could include a company's website. It will include the website, telephone, live chat, direct mail and marketing materials and social media too. So by this is the customer relationship management, the managing with the customer relationship. The next we're gonna see CRM challenges. What is CRM? Customer relationship management. The challenges which is the customer relationship facing. So it is without the proper management, CRM system can become little more than glorified database, which the customer information is sorted. So companies may struggle to achieve a single view of the customer if the data sets are not connected or organized in a single dashboard or interface. So this system works best when companies spend their time cleaning up their existing customer data to eliminate duplicate and incomplete records before they supplement CRM data with external source of information. So the creation of marketing terms and groups means NAM, National Account Management teams, with the company specifically to meet the media of major client organizations. So the teams of a groups usually consist of marketing and sales personnel as well as engineers, production specialists, and so on. The next one is types of CRM, customer relationship management. This first type which we're gonna see is on premises CRM. On premises nothing but it is a puts once of administration, control, security, maintenance of the database and information on the company using the CRM software. With this approach, the company purchases license upfront instead of buying yearly subscriptions. The second one is cloud based CRM, also known as SaaS, software as a service. So it is mainly demand CRM. This data is stored in an external remote network that employees can access anytime, anywhere. There is an internet connection, sometimes with a third party service provider overseeing installation and maintenance. And then third one, open source CRM, which means a system make a source code available to the public, enabling companies to make alternatives at no cost to the company employing the system. To open source, CRM also enable the addition and customization of data links on a social media channels, assisting companies looking to improve social CRM practices. In adoption of any of the CRM, deployment methods depends on the company's business needs, resources, and goals, as each has a different cost associated with it. So in this CRM, next topic is components of CRM. The components which we're going to see is the first one is marketing automation, which means the capabilities can automate repetitive tasks to enhance marketing efforts at different points in a life cycle. So for example, as sales prospects come into the systems, it might automatically send the prospects marketing material via email, social media with the goal of turning a sales lead into a full-fledged customers. And then second one is this Salesforce automation, which means tools track customer interaction and automate certain business functions of the sales cycle that are necessary to follow leads and attract and obtain new customers. Third one, contact center automating, which means might include pre-recorded audio, thus assist in customer problem solving, which means customer care service. We're gonna see we used to call the customer service once if we need any queries or issues to be solved means they will maintain the automation making pre-recorded audio. They will maintain the pre-recorded one. Press 1, press 2 like this. So it is a pre-recorded audio. Various software tools that integrate with the agent's desktop. The next one is geolocation technology or a location based service. Location means by the location they will solve the issues. So that is a location. Geographic marketing combined based on customer physical location, sometimes integrated with a popular location based GPS service. So it is a location based technology. And then next one is workflow automation. Workflow means they have to workflow with the automation. Workflow means the business optimization processes the streamlining workloads. It means focus on creating more high level tasks. It will create a more high level task. The next one is lead management, which means sales leads can be tracked through CRM, enabling sales teams to input, track, analyze data for leads in one place. Next one is human resource management, which means the helps track employee information such as contact information, performance reviews and benefits within a company. So this enables the human resource department to more effectively manage the internal workplace. Next one, analytics, which means helps to create a better customer satisfaction rates by analyzing user data. How the ratings are given by the customers, they will maintain the product specified. And then finally, artificial intelligence, which means Salesforce have to build in a CRM platform, which means repetitive tasks, identify customer buying patterns, how they are buying monthly wise, yearly wise, how the needs to be followed and all will be the artificial intelligence. We have to identify the customer buying patterns to predict future customer behaviors and more. The next one we're going to see e-commerce. What is e-commerce? E-commerce means electronic commerce. The commerce which is running within the electronic way. Means commerce means buying and selling things or products. So this commerce by in electronic way. So first one is the meaning. It is a internet commerce or a electronic commerce. It refers to the buying selling of goods or services using the internet, transferring money, data to execute these transactions. So this is a sale of physical products online, but it can also describe any kind of commercial transaction that is facilitated through the internet. So this is mainly in meaning. So all aspects of operating an online business, it refers specifically to the transaction of goods and services. Next, we're going to see types of e-commerce models. The first one, business to consumers. Nothing. The business sells the goods or services to an individual customers means B2C. B2B means the selling goods or services to another business, one business to another business. Third one is selling goods or services from one consumer to another consumer. Means selling old things, second hand things. We have used the products and selling the product to the second one. So this is. And third one is consumer to consumer, which means consumer sells goods and services to another consumer. Fourth one is consumer to business. Yes, the consumer sells their own products or services to a business or organization. Means the influencer offers exposure to the online audience to exchange for a fee or photographer. This is the consumer to business. So next we're gonna see advantages and disadvantages of e-commerce. If the product is good or not, whatever the business we will do, there may be an advantages and also equal to disadvantages. The first advantage we're gonna see, the seller with the global reach. They will provide the seller with the global reach. The electronic commerce will substantially lower the transaction cost. Yes, transaction cost will be lower, and it provides quick delivery of goods, very little effort, and part of the customer's effort will be less. One other great advantage is the convenience it offers. It will give the convenience, and it also allows the customers to the business to touch directly without any intermediaries. This is true. Without intermediaries, they will touch. The disadvantages of e-commerce means startup cost of e-commerce portal are very high. Yes, for starting e-commerce portal, this is very high. And although it may seem like a sure thing, the e-commerce industry has a high risk of failure. Yes, maybe high risk because of if you are not satisfied with your customers, you will get the failure result. So it will be a failure. And then e-commerce can feel impersonal. Why it is impersonal? Because we are making the online purchase, online in electronic purchase. This is a impersonal. Security is the another issue. So without some security issues will be there. We are using a credit card, some cards we are using, so this there may be some theft will be happen. So this is maybe a security is another area of concern. The next topic which we're gonna see is e-commerce different objects are, the first one is retail, sale of a product or a business directly with the customer is retail. Selling them directly to the customers, bulk, selling them to the customers is in a bulk manner. Bulk means with more quantity level, means wholesale. Drop shipping. Third one is drop shipping, which means manufactured and shipped to the consumer by a third party, which involve a third party. The fourth one, crowdfunding, which means collection of money from consumers in advance of a product being in order to raise startup capital necessary to bring it to the market. And the next one, subscription, because of some a subscription has made means the customer buying a newspaper or buying some books, he needs some next volumes, but he needs some updates to buy, so he made a subscription for monthly basis. For monthly once the book will release means he will make a subscription for monthly once, he'll pay for yearly once, he'll get monthly once the delivery amount, delivery products. So he'll get the delivery products by the subscription. And the next one is physical products. So the products is a tangible good, requires inventory, so it is a physical products. And digital products means it may be a templates or a course. This will also available in online courses. And then finally services, which means a skill or a set of skill provided in exchange of compensation. So this is all services. This all under e-commerce different objectives. Next under e-commerce objectives we're gonna see is key elements which we gonna support the e-commerce. Customer names. Yes, if we maintain the products, if we selling some things means we have to maintain the customer names for individual, each and every individual to the organization by his name. That is why effective salesman at the retail outline the customer's same need. So they will ask you what your name is, and they will call you by your name every time they want to address you. Second one, bestseller products on homepage. Yes, just like normal shopping places, your customer would first look for your bestseller products. So they would find bestseller product in a front way in starting. The third one is product collection. So which means you can bundle up a similar kind of products at one place. So there is called a product collection. So you can get a more products in a single page or a single online store. If you are trying to purchase some things in a bulky way means you will find more categories wise in a product collections. And the next one, zoom option. Yes, if they are availing or if they are making some products available means you can zoom it and see what it specified about the ingredients and manufacturing details and all. You can zoom the picture and then you, if you wish, you can order it. And the next one, shipping details. Once you want, you have to enter your shipping details and the contact info. You have to give your contact info. Feedback for the product which you used, you have to give the feedback. Ratings and reviews also include. Rating means within 5 stars you will get how much you're satisfied, you have to give the ratings. For reviews, how you feel after you used it, so you have to give the reviews by your message. And then price filter. If you want to search something but you want to purchase it a budget friendly means you have some sort filter way in price filter, low to high, high to low, and from bestsellers, average customers review, Based on this, you can filter it. So next one is wish list. By wish list, you will make some offers. If you add a wish list some products, if it is in going for offers, they will inform you the offers way. If you want, you can order it or a buy. The last one is sharing option. So once you wish the product, you want to share the product, share about the product pricing or a product quality and all with your friends, means this have the sharing option. Example, Amazon. If I wish to buy something, some products I wish to buy, but I want to discuss or I want to show that to my friends, means I can share the product in Amazon options. And then last and finally in this topic, we're gonna see strategic implementation. It is nothing but implementing the strategic way. So implementing the strategy. So means the process that turns strategies and plans into action in order to accomplish strategic objectives and goals. So it is important, even more important than your strategy. So why it is important? 60% of organization don't like strategy in budgeting. Yes, 75% employee incentive to the strategy. 86% less than 1 hour per month discussing strategy. So 95% typical workplace don't understand their organization strategy. So getting a strategy ready for implementation is very important in the business. So for the business, you have a plan in a place, wasting time, energy on the planning process, and then not implementing the plan is very discouraging. Yes, you have planned your what you have to produce, you planned how the marketing will be done, you planned how the customers you have to satisfy, plan all you planned, but you didn't implement it. So without implementing, you can't get anything in return. So although the topic of implementation may not be most exciting thing to talk about, so it is a fundamental business practice that is critical for any stage to take hold. In this, the first one, internal strategic implementation. So before that, we have to internal strategic implementation. We have to implement the strategic in a internal way. Under this, making support. We have to make or we have to support the strategic implement. So under this making support, there will be in a people, resources, structure, system, culture. So for to implement our strategy, to implement our plan, we have to gain, we should have in our organization as people. Yes, people, one who receives our products, one who selling our products, all the things we have in a people way. The second one is resources. We have to find the resources, we have to get the resources from the customer satisfaction, customers real thing. And then third one is structure of business organization, we have to find the structure level. Fourth one is systems, we have to follow the rules and regulation systems to the organization. Last one is culture. Culture is nothing how the organization following, how the organization planning to make, how the traditional way, how they are following the culture level in the strategic implementation.